Have you ever missed a shot and the very first thing you thought was, "What's wrong with my stroke today?" But the funny thing is that 5 minutes earlier, you probably made this exact same shot 10 times in a row. And here's what almost nobody realizes, because your skill didn't disappear. Your brain simply started getting involved. And trust me, your brain is an absolutely terrible pool coach. I can prove it with one simple experiment that almost every pool player fails, because after you see what pressure secretly does to your brain, you will stop blaming your mechanics forever. Watch what happens. Imagine this is heel-heel. Your opponent is standing right behind you, and if you miss, the match is over. And here's the crazy part, because most players think pressure makes them nervous, but that's actually not what hurts them the most. So here is a challenge. I'm going to shoot the exact same shot several times. And right now, make first 3 shots with no hesitation, no drama, just shoot. So far, pretty boring, right? But now, let's make one tiny change. Pull out your phone with countdown timer. I'm giving myself 5 seconds. If I don't shoot before it hits 0, I fail. And suddenly, this easy little shot starts feeling like it is worth $1 million. Notice what happens. Timer starts. 5. Quick step into the shot. 4. The nervous search for an aiming point. 3. Quick panic glance at the object ball. 2. Shoot and miss. Did you catch it? Nothing changed until this moment. That hesitation lasted less than half a second, and it completely changed the stroke. And this is where almost every player gets fooled, because they think pressure makes them shake, but it usually doesn't. It makes them hesitate. Instead of trusting the stroke, they start steering it. They are still trying to pocket the ball, but now they are trying to control the cue during the hit. And that's almost impossible. But here is the really interesting question. Why does hesitation make such a huge difference? I will show you exactly what is happening inside the stroke, because once you understand that, you will know how to stop it almost instantly. Let's look at that miss one more time. You probably think the miss happened here, but it didn't. It happened almost 2 seconds earlier. Watch these 2 strokes. They look almost identical, but one of them is already dead. The first player has already made the decision, but the second player is still thinking. And that's a huge difference, because your brain hates uncertainty. When you are under pressure, it starts searching for certainty, so instead of trusting the shot, it keeps asking questions. Every one of those thoughts happens in a fraction of a second, but together, they completely interrupt the stroke. First of all, your rhythm disappears. Then, your grip tightens. Then, your cue stops accelerating naturally. And finally, instead of delivering the cue, you glide it. And glided strokes rarely stay online. Have you ever caught yourself making one last tiny adjustment, literally while pulling the cue back? Yeah. If you have, welcome to the club. But the best players learned something that completely changed the way they handled pressure. And that's exactly what we are going to fix next, because the solution has almost nothing to do with confidence and everything to do with when you make your final decision. If hesitation is the problem, how do you stop it? You don't try to become more confident. You make hesitation impossible. And the best part? It has nothing to do with your stroke. Watch carefully. I'm not thinking about making the ball anymore. I'm making a decision. From back, right here, I choose everything. The speed, the spin, and the position. And this is what I call the decision line. It isn't something you can see. It is something you commit to. Everything happens before this line. Nothing changes after it. If you are still aiming while you are already down on the shot, you are too late. So I want you to try something the next time you practice. Pick any easy shot, but before you bend over, say one word. Commit it. Now, get down, and from that moment on, you are not allowed to change anything. If something suddenly feels wrong, get up and reset. But never ever change your mind halfway through the stroke. At first, this feels slower, but after a few racks, something interesting happens. You stop second-guessing yourself, your pre-shot routine becomes consistent, your stroke becomes smoother, and suddenly, those easy shots that disappeared under pressure start falling again. And there is one final thing most players completely misunderstand about confidence, because confidence isn't something you have before the shot. It is something you build after every committed stroke. So let's go back to where we started. Take out the phone timer again. 5 seconds. Exactly like before. But this time, I'm not trying to make the ball. I'm only trying to commit. Timer starts. 5. Decision. 4. Step into the shot. 3. One final look. 2. Tiny pause. 1. Smooth stroke. No hesitation. Did my strokes suddenly get better? My mechanics didn't improve in 5 seconds. What changed was that my brain stopped trying to solve the shot after I would already solved it. And that's something a lot of players never realize. They think confidence creates commitment, but it is usually the other way around. You commit first, and confidence catches up later. Because every committed stroke tells your brain, see, we were right. However, there is something else you might have missed. Did you notice that I easily used the entire 5 seconds this time? Previously, my brain subconsciously created pressure that I had a very little time to take the shot, which caused me to take it 2 seconds before the timer ran out. This is just an experiment and no one will definitely expect you to make a shot in 5 seconds. However, believe me, these 5 seconds are enough time to take this shot without rushing. You don't believe me? Try it out during your practice and come back to share your thoughts. So the next time you miss an easy ball, don't immediately blame your aim. Don't blame your stroke. And don't even buy a new cue. First of all, ask yourself one simple question. Did I actually commit to the shot? Because if the answer is no, you already know what to work on. But if the answer is yes, then congratulations, you made the right decision. Sometimes good decisions still miss, but bad decisions almost never become great shots. So if you wanna improve under pressure, don't just practice making balls, practice making decisions. And if you are looking for structured practice sessions that help you build that kind of consistency, check out Pool Billiards CO. They have got ready-made training plans, an advanced practice editor, and with the link in the video description you can get great discounts on premium membership that make it much easier to train with purpose instead of just hitting balls. And now, I'm curious, what usually breaks down first when you are under pressure? Your stroke, your aim, your speed, or your confidence? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy videos that explain why things happen in pool, hit the like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Take care!